The Zarkith Dominion was feared across the stars. Their ships were strong, their weapons brutal, and their name alone could silence whole systems. So when one of their patrol fleets found a small broken human ship drifting near a dead star, they laughed. It looked old, weak, and slow. The Zarkith commander ordered it destroyed without asking questions. The human pilot inside had no way to fight back. But before the final blast hit, he sent one last message. His voice was calm, cold, and full of warning. You picked the wrong fight. The signal shot across space, ignored by the Zarkith. But in hidden corners of the galaxy, old machines began to wake up. Human satellites blinked for the first time in centuries. Underground bunkers came to life. Something ancient was moving. Something angry. On the edge of space, deep behind a black star, a massive ship opened its eyes. Red lights pulsed like a heartbeat. The human armada, long forgotten by the galaxy, had heard the call. The galaxy had thought humans were gone forever. But the truth was simple. They had just been waiting. And now, someone had made the mistake of waking them up. The message sent by the dying human pilot kept moving through the dark corners of space. It reached old satellites, hidden in the dust of forgotten moons. These machines had been silent for hundreds of years, but now they lit up with red and blue lights. On remote planets, deep under the ground, sleeping systems started humming. One after another, ancient protocols began to unlock. Names like Black Sky, Echo Rage, and Titanfall. Long ago, humanity had built these systems as a final warning, not for defense, but for revenge. The Zarkith Dominion didn't know this. They thought they had destroyed a useless ship. But now, something had changed. Their own scouts went to check the silent Earth ruins, but none returned. One ship came back, drifting with no crew inside. On its hull, someone had burned 2 words in old Terran language. We remember. Across the galaxy, whispers of fear began. Some called it a ghost army. Others said humanity had never truly died, just hidden. In secret, human sleeper agents hiding on alien worlds received a single command: awaken. And as their eyes glowed with blue fire, one thing became clear. The mistake had been made, and humanity was coming back. Without any warning, the first human retaliation began. A Zarkith military base near the edge of their empire was the first to fall. One moment, their sensors showed clear skies. The next, everything went black. No alarms, no explosions, just silence. The entire base disappeared from the system map. Nearby ships rushed to investigate, but were torn apart in seconds by unseen weapons. There was no trace of the enemy, only a strange hum and the smell of burning metal. Then more bases started vanishing. One by one, communication hubs went offline. Defense grids collapsed without being touched. Entire fleets were lost in hours. Survivors from one attack screamed about ghost ships with red glowing eyes and black metal that didn't reflect light. They moved without sound, without engines. On one broken escape pod, a message was found, written in human blood. We warned you. Fear began spreading in the Zarkith Dominion. Their leaders tried to hide the truth, but their soldiers were already panicking. Across the galaxy, others watched in shock. The Council, who once laughed at the name human, now met in secret. Were the myths true? Had humanity really vanished, or had they planned this all along? The war had begun, and the hunters had become the hunted. Far from the battlefields, a young alien scholar named Drevin sat deep inside the Grand Library of the Galactic Council. He had always been curious about the old stories, legends about a species called humans. Most called them myths, bedtime tales to scare children. But now, with Zarkith worlds falling without a trace, Drevin wasn't so sure. He searched old, locked files buried beneath decades of lies. What he found chilled his blood. Humanity hadn't gone extinct. They had vanished by choice. Long ago, they ruled vast parts of the galaxy, but one day they left quietly, deleting their presence from every record. Only a few hidden files remained, protected by codes even the Council feared to break. Drevin found one final message from a long-dead Council member. If they return, do not fight. Just pray they don't remember. He realized the Zarkiths hadn't started a war with a dead race. They had awakened a sleeping beast. The armada wasn't new. It had been waiting for the right moment, for someone foolish enough to strike first. Humanity hadn't forgotten. They had just been silent. And now, that silence was gone. The storm had returned, and the galaxy was running out of time. The sky above Zarkith Prime turned black. Their greatest planet, the heart of their empire, shook as alarms screamed across cities. Thousands looked up and saw the impossible. Dozens of dark human ships, shaped like knives and shadows, floating silently in orbit. They made no demands, no warnings, just silence. Then, without a single word, the bombardment began. Their strongest shields melted in seconds. Towers fell like sand. Whole cities were erased in flashes of red light. The Zarkith leaders begged for surrender, but no voice answered. Humanity had become something else. Colder, smarter, ruthless. They didn't come to win a war. They came to end it. In deep space, the Galactic Council watched helplessly. No one dared speak. Even the most powerful species said nothing. A message was sent from the human fleet, not just to the Zarkith, but to everyone. We asked for peace. You answered with fire. Now we end it with silence. And just like that, the war was over. Zarkith Prime was dust. Their empire, history. The galaxy learned a lesson it would never forget. Never wake the sleeping humans. They do not forgive. They do not forget. And when they return, they never stop.